Meanwhile, speaking of President Trump, he signed that Defense Authorization Act as expected yesterday.
The National Defense Authorization Act is the most significant investment in our military and our warfighters in modern history, and I am very proud to be a big part of it.
And it is a big number, better than $716 billion, almost $725 billion if you tie in a lot of ancillary contracts and all of that. General Jack Keane likes that. He joins us out of Washington. General, what do you think?
Well, it's a step in the right direction. This is the second installment in what I and many describe as the Trump defense buildup, which is comparable to what Ronald Reagan did. But we got to get out of a hole that we've been in for a decade plus, with defense budgets not being what they should be. We're still the primary military in the world, but the fact is that our capabilities have eroded significantly over time, and Russia and China in certain highly specialized areas have been able to catch us, and in certain other areas they've actually gone past us, and we are in a big power competition with them. So we need several years of this. There'll be members of Congress that don't want to do that, that's for sure, and this is going to have to be argued, but this is sort of a down payment, and we need to sustain it.
You know, it comes at a time, though, when we have been demanding, as if you've been on this show and others talking a great deal about NATO paying its fair share, NATO countries paying their fair share. We pay over 70% of the cost of keeping our colleagues safe there. Now there's talk about building a space force to add to that. Are we ready for that? Do we have the money and the commitment for that?
Well, the issue with space certainly is that the United States has dominated space for years, but now our adversaries are all up there with us, and that's the reality that we're facing. And space will be a part of any conflict operation. Actually, it may be where the first shot gets fired, because if you take out our satellites drive not only GPS location, they drive all of our communications, and they drive our weapons telemetry. It is what enables us to bring a precision munition to a target within about 25 meters with a degree of reliability of about 95 to 98%. So we can't operate without space, and we got to be able to control it. All that said, Neil, I'm not certain we need a new service to be able to do that, because when you create a service, you're buying into all the layers of bureaucracy that go with that service. What we really need is a command focused on space, like we got a special operations command that focuses on the needs of our special forces and those kind of specialized troops. We had problems not resourcing those for years, and the Congress said, hey, stop it. We're gonna tell you to form a specialized command so you give you the priority it deserves. I think that's the right answer. The Senate Armed Services Committee has said pretty much the same thing. Let's not spend the extra dollars on the bureaucracy. Let's spend the money on the capability.
Yeah, our history suggests that we don't, start a whole new agency. We just add it to the ones that we've got. While I've got you, General, we're getting word now of this incident in London where a driver tried to ram pedestrians outside Parliament. Now he has been charged with terrorism, and there are growing concerns that it could have happened again. What do you make of this?
Well, this is certainly the pattern that's been established. These things are almost impossible to stop unless you've got intelligence that leads up to it. If he's operating by himself and he's not in a network and he decides to do this on a particular day, thank God there was no explosives in the vehicle, which would have made it considerably worse. But these are challenges that every major city is going to continue to face, where the terrorists have their eye on trying to undermine that government and make a name for what they're doing and for their cause.
I always wonder, and I don't mean to sort of say the markets are the epicenter of everything, but they used to get really rattled on these type of reports. Not so much these days, and maybe in the last couple of years, it could be, sadly, we're used to this sort of thing, or have a better sort of a big picture view of it, and we move on with our lives. But what do you make of that? I'm not saying they're nonplussed, but they move on to other things. Are they too cavalier? What do you think?
No, I don't think so at all. I think it's largely a reflection, of societies writ large. I mean, the people sort of get it. you know, they live in a major urban center. There's millions of people there. The likelihood of their being touched by something like this is pretty remote. They feel they can go on with their lives, get their kids to school, work hard, recreate when they want to. I mean, the rest of this day will be normal in London, except for that one area where this took place at. I mean, so I think the media is a bit of a reflection of the people, and so is the government. And I think there's a trust that these governments and these police forces are working overtime to try to stop these things and use the intel collaboration that exists out there. Everybody's sort of focused on this. So I think there's some trust that's built up also among the population. And I do think it's a reflection of the maturity of a society being able to cope with some evil that's in it and recognizing the fact that you're never going to be able to stamp it all out anyway.
It's a good point. You know, General, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Turkey, and we know the economic impact and all that, but there was a move afoot to say that Erdogan is power hungry. The president there has actually planted the seeds for this financial disaster that is now reverberating worldwide, less so today. And there are some advocating, you know what, you don't deserve to be in NATO. What if we kick them out? What would be the impact of that?
No, that would be a huge strategic mistake. Listen, we've had almost a 70-year relationship with Turkey being a part of NATO. They're the second largest military in NATO. They sit at the strategic crossroads between Europe and the Middle East. And we should not make a decision on the policies of one leader who is going to serve for a certain period of time. And yes, he's more authoritarian. He stripped away democratic values in that country. He's aggravating us significantly over Syria as he's moved closer to Russia and to Iran. And he certainly got our president's attention when he imprisoned an American citizen who resides in Turkey on false charges. So, yes, he's a problem for us. I think we can resolve this thing diplomatically with Pastor Bronson because of the president's pressure that he's placed on Erdogan. Erdogan is the problem that the Turkish economy has had serious problems. The president just exacerbated it by imposing a tariffs on aluminum and steel. The roots of it were already there, as we all know.
All right, General, always good catching up with you. Thank you very, very much.
Hey, good seeing you early in the morning here, Neil.
I don't know about that, but I do appreciate that, my friend.